Hey everyone, welcome back with Beano Mac, where today we're going to start our playthrough of Bully on the PS2, and this is going to be Chapter 2. I did Chapter 1 last week. If you'd like to see that first, links are in the description below, so check that out.
On the street is you're something of a pugilist.
No, sir, I never pugilized in my life.
Really? And that you've been saying some entertaining things about me and some barnyard animals.
No, I never said that.
Well, I listen to things, Hopkins. You try and stay out of trouble. Now go see the cook down in the kitchen. Helping her might teach you some humility.
Okay, sir.
Hey, new kid. You're that guy that beat up Russell.
So, what's it to you?
Hey, listen, we like to box, the noble art and all that. Why don't you come down by our gym in old Bulworth Vale? We should definitely hang out. Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about you.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
School rules are quite clear on this subject. Quite clear. No alcohol on school grounds. You're drunk. I can smell it on your breath. I can see it in your eyes.
I'm not drunk.
Drunk? In charge of children? What kind of monster drinks in front of children?
Parent?
A disgraceful one, yes. You've got a problem, haven't you?
I'm just under a lot of pressure.
Well, I'm a kind and supportive colleague, Galloway. And as such, I think it is my duty to get you sacked.
Do whatever you want, Hattrick. You always do.
The head will find out about this.
You okay, sir?
Jimmy. No, I'm not okay. I'm half drunk and I'm about to get fired. Fantastic. Oh, I'm a washed up old drunk and I'm only 34. English, you see, is a difficult subject to teach. I've tried any number of things to dull the pain. Yoga, meditation, needlepoint, looking at dubious sites on the internet. But nothing dulls the pain like scotch.
Come on, sir, put that away.
Are you mad? This is manna from the gods.
Give me that. Let's get rid of this before you get busted.
Very kind of you, Jimmy. Miss Phillips is the only teacher to know about my vice. Take it to her. She will know what to do.
Alright then, so yep, this is the introduction to our chapter. So, in Chapter 1, we pretty much got introduced to Jimmy. We got to learn a lot about his personality and how he reacts to people and what he thinks of the school. We dealt with Russell's bullies. You know, he's the guys in the white polo shirts. Now they're our friends because we beat up their leader, Russell, and now we're on good terms with them. You know, we're cool type deal. And now we're going to go after the rich kids. You know, they're impressed by our match with Russell because they seen us down in the hole. You know, the whole school seen us take out Russell, who is pretty much the toughest kid in the school. And yeah, Jimmy, you know, he's kind of not going to really just take it, you know. So we're going to see how that transpires with the rich kids. This is the start also of the side missions, which is Hattrick and Galloway. I'll say that's what the title was, but there's going to be a whole load of side missions throughout the rest of the chapters featuring these two and their whole rivalry, and we're going to have, as you're about to see, Miss Phillips, the art teacher, involved. And I think they did a very good job with Mr. Hattrick being such a jerk, but he's a stuck-up, kind of proudish sounding jerk too. The head will hear about this. You know, I love his voice actor. It's great. But pretty basic mission, as you've seen. I did it in pretty quick time. But now we're up for some last-minute shopping for Edna, as we need to help the cook out this time. This is a pretty funny cutscene. I'm gonna let it play out for you guys. Jeez.
Nice.
Shut up, kid. It adds flavor to it. You want to give it a go?
Sure.
Those aren't real sneezes.
Try and get some bits in it.
I've got performance anxiety.
Get used to it, kid. You're a man. It's all downhill from here, my friend. Anyway, what do you want?
Nothing. The head sent me.
He did? Oh, yeah! I need you to go to town and pick up some meat and other things for me. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to put one of Ms. Phillips' cats in the casserole again.
Okay.
Let me see. I need some meat from Yum Yum Market. Oh, and a razor from the barber's for my stash. And, oh yeah, some new knickers from Worn In. I've had these on since last term. Now, hurry up! Go, take my bike. It's that fine machine out there by the school gates.
All right.
That's disgusting. Yeah, so this cutscene, I think the point we're gonna do like a few missions for Edna. I think the point is it's kind of show that she's the stereotypical gross, disgusting lunch lady. If you remember, you can look back at the Halloween mission in Chapter 1, and you might see one of the boys. I think his name is Troy. It's actually wearing. He somehow made a mask of Edna to wear for Halloween, which is just hilarious. But yeah, she's a stereotypical, disgusting lunch lady. And I think the idea is to show she's, not a bad person in these things necessarily. But yeah, we're gonna see that as not exactly the case. I mean, she seems nice, personable, and whatnot. Disgusting, and has no manners and no social etiquette. But yeah, we're gonna see. If you think she's bad now, we're gonna see a much worse side of her pretty soon. So this mission is pretty much just to kind of showcase what's out there on the town, because the first chapter you're stuck inside the school. Chapter 2 is where you get to explore. So we get to explore Bulworth, but the main crux of this... I wasn't even trying to grab him. I wanted to go outside the door. But the main crux of this chapter in particular is the rich kids. And this is Bulworth town, but we're going to be doing the majority of our stuff inside of Old Bulworth Vale. Jeez, I can't even talk today. But then again, when can I ever talk? And Old Bulworth Vale is kind of like the rich part of town. So I don't know, it's really weird. Like they have like the real rich part of town, and as you go past it, there's like, it gets progressively more and more poverty-stricken areas. As you'll see, we don't have access to those yet. But Chapter 3, we're gonna have access to a new part of the town, and then Chapter 5. I believe. Yep, Chapter 5 is when we're going to have access to the poorest town, which is like the trailer park. But I don't know, with the areas and the sections so close together, you would think that, there'd be a lot more crime and issues and stuff like that in the rich part of town. But I guess that's what Jimmy's for. We're going to bring it to him. But once again, a pretty simple, quick mission. If you just kind of do what you have to do and run around real quick. When I was a kid, I used to always get myself a haircut, buy some new clothes, buy some stuff at the market, but we're just going to try and not necessarily speed run through these chapters, but I don't want, you guys have to sit through 3 hours of like, Chapter 2 or whatever, so hopefully it won't be longer than an hour and a half for these chapters.
Nonsense! There are no fuzzy eaters at Bulworth.
What are you looking at, Edna? $15, not bad. Not too shabby. Now this is going to be the prep challenge that you have to do. So at the start of, well, not the start of every one, for each kliq, except for Russell's kliq, there are challenges you can do out in the town in various areas. And they essentially are where you can establish safe houses in each city of the game. So for example, this is the preppy one, so we're going to essentially try and win that house, as you see in the $1 million house, to be able to have a safe house in Old Bulworth Vale. Later on, we'll be able to do the nerd challenge and have one in the town of Bulworth and the comic store. New Coventry is going to be the Chapter 3 town that we're going to be in, and you can beat up some greasers and, steal their hideout. And then in the trailer park area is where we're going to have the last one. Oh, and the jocks. You can just have an extra safe house on school premises, which I think is kind of silly. I think they just did it just because, you know, they needed a challenge for the jocks and whatnot. But pretty much instead of having to be at the front of the school in the boys' dorm, later on you'll be able to eventually mess around with the jocks, and you'll be able to be behind the gym pretty much at the football field, which, you know, I guess can be convenient for that mission in particular, or that chapter 4 in particular, as you'll see. But this is the only the challenge, I think, for the kliqs I'm going to showcase, and the reason for that being is because you have to actually do this to continue the story. But this one is pretty interesting. It's the boxing minigame. You can usually just do regular boxing matches, earn some money from it. I think they have like maybe 4 challengers. I'm not going to really do that, but pretty much you're just in the rich kids part of town boxing at the club that Gord invited us to begin with. So, but I don't know, I think it's the most entertaining part about this to me is kind of just the random comments from like the rich kids as you're fighting. It's just half the time it's just stupid, you know, like Pinky's just cheering you on all the time, telling you you're tough. Tad is just, you know, you'll hear him saying, you know, what is it, like $20 that Hopkins is gonna bite it or something like that. But yeah, this not the best minigame if I'm being honest. I used to love it as a kid, but I don't know, as an adult it kind of it's a little annoying, to be honest, especially the challenge and how you have to do it. But this won't be, if you're interested, this isn't the last of the boxing that you have to do. I just wish there was more variety in it, you know. The fighting in this game in particular, it's fun to beat up people, but if you want to have a straight up fight, it's not always the most entertaining. I mean, there's some pretty tough challengers. Biff is the top boxer, and the preppies will actually face him later. He's a pretty good fun fight because of how much health he has, and he has a very good fighting style. Damon, I think his name is. He's the football, not the quarterback. He's like the. Geez, I don't know anything about football or foosball as they call it. But he's like pretty much the toughest jock in the school. I think Biff can actually beat him in a fight though if you like pair him one-on-one and stuff. But he's got a lot of health. Damon does, and he's just got a very powerful moveset. And then of course Russell is a pretty strong foe to fight in the game as well. But I don't know, I think they kind of peak a little too soon with it because Russell's clearly the hardest boss in the game. But I don't know, I feel like he's the only character I've ever had trouble with as far as a boss fight. But maybe that'll change later on. Edgar is a pretty tough boss fight as well, which if you don't know who he is, you'll find out way later in the game. Yeah, with this thing, it's kind of like a crapshoot. You just kind of have to keep swinging and see if they're going to dodge and whatnot. Half the time when you do, they give you with that gut punch like right there. But, I don't know, I thought I had my 5-hit combo. It just isn't working though for whatever reason. I guess I still need to upgrade my moveset a little bit more, but I thought it was just something that came with the boxing set, to be honest with you.
I still think Hopkins will lose.
Hopkins is surprisingly tough.
Hopkins, you're pathetic. I could do so much better, you know? Hopkins, you're such a wimp.
His left eye looks swollen.
That looks like it hurt. Oh, don't worry.
Come on, I got a few seconds left. Come on. Yeah, there we go. I've never actually gotten to where it's been like 3 rounds and you beat somebody.
All right, I won.
Or I mean when it's like 3 rounds or whatever, and
Your parents have to be
it's like a draw or something like that. I don't know what happens if you don't beat him in 3 rounds.
old chap. We'll give you that.
But yeah, as you can see, we're getting screwed over by the preppies.
Once you clean it up.
I think that guy's name is Justin. Is that yeah, it's Justin. And yeah, that guy always seems like he's the biggest douchebag out of all of them, just the way he talks. But now we have the new save location, and this is definitely my favorite one, Just I think it's how cool it looks inside. And you get the access to a new arcade game. But now we're on to the Pinky missions, which is the girl of the preppies.
Hey, Jimmy Hopkins.
Do I know you?
No, I'm Pinky, but I know all about you. Everybody's talking about you. Everybody says that you're mean and angry and you like fighting.
Huh.
Gary said you're so mad because you're sexually confused.
Yeah, well, Gary talks a lot of crap.
Oh, I know. I don't like him. He likes to torture people.
So what? He's not gonna torture me.
Well, I'm glad you're not sexually confused.
Really?
Yeah, I like you, Jimmy Hopkins.
Oh, yeah?
But I need you to do something for me.
What a surprise.
I'm last in line, and this movie means everything to me. I'm gonna get terrible seats. Can you please get rid of all these people for me? Please, Jimmy?
What's in it for me?
Jeez, Jimmy, what are you looking at over there?
And I need people
He
to
wasn't
do
even trying to hide it
for
at
me.
all.
So hurry up, because I want to be first.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
All right.
Yeah, so,
Why doesn't Mom divorce?
yeah, she's kind of the stereotypical princess kind of character, rich, spoiled, brat kind of deal. I think she's kind of different compared to the rest of the preppies, though. I think there's a little bit of good in her. Yeah, the inbred stuff with the preps, I mean, I kind of really, I kind of get it, because like, oh yeah, you're supposed to keep it in the family kind of stuff, but I've never really heard that kind of stuff with the rich people. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's even a monarch type thing that they're making fun of, but
Hey,
yeah, it's it's pretty disgusting. But it looks like Pinky isn't affected by it, so that's cool with me. Pinky was best girl, you know. It's a little weird now because they're all like 15, 16-year-olds, but when I was growing up, she was one of my my PS2 crushes. That and Asuka Kazama from Tekken. Jeez, alright, I guess we're getting followed by this couple as well. I guess they're gonna join us then. Maybe we might start some swinging. Hollywood swinging. But yeah, this is pretty much the last we're gonna see of Eunice. Just for another kind of joke gag kiss or whatever. Which is crazy. To get with a girl, we had to get with another girl. But yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. You can see, if you didn't know us, Trent and Kirby are actually gay in this game.
Great, Jimmy. If only you'd been born into my social circle.
well, I do have a few uses, you know.
Oh, really? Well, you know, nice girls like nice flowers. Anyway, here's some money. It's the least I could do. And it's Daddy's anyways. The show's about to start, but come see me sometime. We can work through these class issues we have.
Oh, I'll work through your class issues all right, sweetie.
And there we go. That's mission number 1. We haven't quite gotten her yet, but that's about to change in this next mission.
So, this is how you treat a girl? Well, not me.
What are you talking about?
We had a date, and you are 3 minutes late.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we really didn't. But look, I remembered how much you like flowers.
Oh, damn. That wasn't you. That was Darby. Well, he's late. I cannot believe he's done this to me. Oh, and those are so beautiful. 3 minutes. What is
Emotions
he,
are all
a
over the place.
tramp? Ugh. I hope something important happened. Like he's dead. Because otherwise, there's no excuse.
Did you say you're waiting for Darby?
Yes. I don't really like him, but he's my cousin and our family wants us to get married. You know, keep up the tradition.
Wait, marry your cousin?
You know, it used to be brother and sister until it was made illegal. My aunt has 4 thumbs.
Really?
Yeah, well, I'm not marrying him now. He's humiliated me.
So, what do you say you and I go out and leave Darby to another cousin?
Great. You know, I'll meet you at the carnival tonight. Jimmy, I'm really starting to like you.
So yep, now it's up to us to save Penny from a life of incest. Like I said, I mean, she still has that spoiled princess mentality. But I don't know, I mean, I guess it hints maybe that she just was never interested in Darby. I mean, she said she wasn't. It was just a family thing. But I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of a sweeter side to her. But then again, that's probably just because she's smitten with Jimmy. I'm sure she's probably still an actual, you know, massive bitch or asshole with everybody else. So that's kind of the majority of the characters, especially the girls in this game. They're got a soft side for our boy Jimmy, but
Unlike some of my
they're
other
usually just kind of everybody in this game are very selfish, kind of jerk and assholes, as you'll see later on as we keep going. Except for Pete. Pete's he's a diamond in the rough, which is why it's I always feel so bad for the guy in the game. But it's dog eat dog, right? Candace can him at it.
Welcome.
So in this one, we're gonna play all of the carnival games. It's pretty much just an introduction to the carnival kind of level, which you can spend hours in the carnival. You have to in order to get everything inside of it. This one's probably my favorite game. I've never gotten the you can get like a glove. I think you may have already passed it on the bottom, in which it's like just a catcher's mitt. Apparently you can win just the whole game that way.
How'd you do that?
I've never gotten it though, unfortunately. But then again, I never exactly just waited around for the game to play.
Have you ever made your dad fire someone?
But yeah, speaking of which, if you guys played this game, which was your favorite, girl in the kliqs or whatever in Bulworth? Because I mean, it's kind of Bully's kind of a sausage fest if we're being honest. I mean, it makes sense because you're beating the majority of the people up, but every kliq just has one girl except for Russell's crew. And then, I think there's the two girls that you can kiss, like Christy and Angie, that are the non-kliq students. Then there's Eunice, of course, and she's kind of a unique character. But obviously, once again, she's just kind of a joke character. There's never any normal kissing animation with her. And then, other than that, they just got like the little kids, which, obviously you cannot kiss them. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't even think there's not even a blonde girl in this game, which is kind of crazy to think. I think the only blonde kid in the game is Trent, actually. What? How the hell did I miss that? That was right on the money. Oh, come on. Are you serious? That one was way more off than the first one I threw, but whatever. I guess I'm not complaining. Doing a great first day here. Now it's time for my least favorite game to play. Alright, I better do this quick, because I can't stand that Angie chick. She's always the one that runs up to whoever you're out on a date with and just like almost knocks them out by kneeing them in, I guess, the vagina. I hope so anyway, that's what's there. But yeah, the shooting range is my least favorite. You're gonna see I'm actually pretty awful at it. I'm not doing too bad so far. Not too bad. Not too good either, but yeah, now we're kind of draining it. But I remember in the scholarship edition there was the achievement where you had to like break, I think, like 200 bottles, not all at once or in one game, but it's just like a culmination, and that was probably the worst achievement in the entirety of the game, in my opinion. Even worse than having to get the high scores on everything, because I don't even think that breaking 200 bottles has anything to do with getting 100% in the game. So it's just kind of a time waster. But I would like to actually see a, damn it, I missed the star. I'd actually like to see on YouTube like someone who's actually really good at this kind of game, because I'm sure they exist out there. But I mean, this is the kind of game where if you're good at it, you can get a mass amount of tickets. You can see it on the board right there in the middle. It's kind of hard to see, but I think you can get up to 6 times tickets. But now we have enough for. And of course, it's the classic, go to the carnival, win the prize, impress your girl type deal, which is pretty nice. I always like the old style, nostalgic kind of atmosphere with the Bully kind of presented, even though it was in 2006. I think it was right at that time, right before smartphones were a big deal. Computers are not a big thing in this game whatsoever. We got a preppy and a townie fighting. Jeez. You're getting goofy. I like how everybody's just cheering him on. Alright, we gotta get past Christy. Oh, no. Not Beatrice, too. This is a bad combination. They're always here to ruin your dates with the other girls if it's somewhere in public.
This was so exciting.
I should have lied on that application.
Jeez, I was hoping to keep this teddy bear for myself. Can I fight with this?
Oh, cool! Thanks, Jimmy. It's so cute. Thanks for a great date, Jimmy.
And there we go. That's all the missions for Pinky that we're gonna do. It's pretty much just getting all the girls into our harem. What the hell? Was she just about to go down on us a second ago? Did anybody else see what? Anybody else see that?
Would you please dress
But yeah, she's in our harem now, so now we just have nothing to do with her. That's kind of how it goes for all the girls in this game. It's a very, you know, loose kind of thing. But right now I'm showing off the fact to continue the main story with with Tad. You have to go to the Aquaberry store, buy an Aquaberry sweater, and you know, I'm gonna use the winter variation of it. But
if you'd show up,
I think this one looks cooler.
Nice Aquaberry sweater. Très chic. Yeah. Wow. You look a bit like my gardener at home. Yeah, so what? Yes, well, enough about gardeners or any domestic help. Listen, me and the champs were planning a little revenge hit on old Hat-Trick. We don't like what he did to that old soak Galloway. A chap can have a drink if he bloody hell wants to. So? So, my friend, are you, as they say, in? Sure. Are you English? Well, no. I just speak this way because I'm very insecure. You see, my father is a self-made man, so I pretend to be old money, but in fact, I'm really nouveau riche. But less about me, dear boy. Listen. We're going to egg that old codger's house. Cool. Smashing! You go get some eggs and meet me and the chaps back at my house.
Jeez, so much incest in this game. It's so disgusting. I mean, I guess who, you know, like Jimmy said, who am I to judge? You know, your family's business and whatnot, stuff like that. But yeah. I don't know why they lean so much heavily into that. That's kind of the main theme of the preppies at this point. Even more so than the money, it seems like. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, you know, Jimmy, even if she doesn't end up with him, you know, hopefully Jimmy stay with Pinky from a life of incest. But I mean, who knows? It's a weird, like, gross kind of thing. Maybe it's just because I'm, you know, used to be a simp for or whatever. At least I swear to God, I'm not simping for a child, but... But yeah, I mean, I hope if they make a sequel to Bully 2, they don't really... I wouldn't mind, like, I guess, like, one character is, like, the joke or whatever, but... You know, I hope that incest is not, like, a main focus of an entire group of characters. And if you think it's over with, well, you're about to see this cutscene here.
Got the eggs, Hopkins? You bet. Then give them to me. Take them. Smashing. Now tell me, Hopkins, is it true you said I was inbred? No, because first cousins is legal, my friend. Legal. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and just because my elder brother doesn't have a chin and ended up in a lunatic asylum, it doesn't mean anything. Whatever, Tad. Your family is your business.
Don't lie, Jimmy. You said Tad was probably a hermaphrodite with that much inbreeding.
A hermaphro what?
Don't act dumb. You said his mom was also legally his aunt and that he probably had webbed toes.
I don't... Well, just only on one foot.
Tad,
Nasty.
you're not gonna take that kind of crap from this scumbag, are you?
You've been rude about Mommy. Let's get this, Papa.
Boy, Tad looks real upset right there.
Inbred.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. So he's not the leader of the preppies. It's actually Darby Harrington. But the majority of our issues with the preps is going to be with Tad. And it was weird because they kind of like hinted, you know, they start out with like Gord inviting us to the gym and whatnot. But yeah, Tad is kind of he's definitely a more main focal point of this game than I would say, you know, Darby Harrington is. Even later on, I feel like Tad gets mentioned a little bit more, but... Man, it's awesome, the car physics in this game. Gonna have a little fun with it. Also, even Chad. Yeah, Tad and Chad. Chad is the black one I'm beating up right now. He's a pretty a big character. Supporting character, I should say. Whenever I say big character, I mean usually like they're supporting characters. Like, we see Chad a lot in the story. He's actually my favorite prep, probably because I think he's the only one not to mention incest. You know, but... Once again, like, even the characters that are kind of seem halfway decent, they are still massive, you know, assholes. I mean, they're all kids. That's the kind of the point of it. And, you know, it's in the toughest school in the country and whatnot. Wonder what would happen if I took him out right now. Can I hit him in one hit? Maybe if I do in the head.
I have
Guess
a
not.
key and you don't.
We got him. But yeah, a lot of what goes on in this game, I think the story-wise, doesn't really make sense. You know, it's a very fun story to play through, but you're gonna see a lot of like weird things that happen. First one that I noticed is, how the hell did Gary know we were gonna be at Tad's house? Where was he? Was it something where Tad invited him because he heard about the rumors with Gary, so Gary was there to confirm it or whatever? Did Gary follow Jimmy? I guess you could kind of make excuses for that one in particular, but it's definitely the start of the questionable things, at least in my opinion.
Well, for one moment I had friends. Just one moment. You and Gary. Yeah, Gary's a snake and you're a psychopath. Come on. You both bullied me mercilessly, but at least I wasn't left out. And now I'm back on my own and I'm too cool to be a dork and I'm too dorky to be anything else.
You're not on your own. Where is everybody?
At the bike race at Old Bulworth Vale, by shiny bikes at the beach.
Bike race? Why didn't you say so? Come on.
So this is kind of the start of, you know, Pete's sad journey and stuff like that. You know, he's helping out Jimmy still. He's a good guy. But yeah, you know, you can see he's always been kind of an outcast type of character, unfortunately. And you know, I think they do a pretty good job of him at the start. But Jimmy kind of he doesn't really exactly treat him too well, and there's definitely some situations where it's like, yeah, you know, I get it, but other situations where Jimmy's just kind of being a jerk, doing it for no reason. But he definitely helps us out a lot in the game, and he's definitely a big part of the like questionable issues that this game has. But we're gonna I think we might take this bike instead, because I think it's gonna be oh yeah, that's a lot faster than the last bike, so that way we have the advantage. And I could have swore Gord is in the race, so I don't know what he's doing up there trying to fight us. Let's see what the lineup looks like. Yep, there he is. Tad's there too. All the top 3 preps are all right here. It's kind of weird, like, I think a lot of them just don't have any story relevance whatsoever. Like, there's this Bryce kid, I think that doesn't ever show up. There's this Justin kid who doesn't really ever do anything like that. They don't really stand out very much. But, yeah, Chad, Tad, and Gord, I say, were definitely the preps that stand out the most. Alright. Stunting on these punks. Actually, wow, I think one of them especially is really far behind. The AI for bike races in this game are not usually very good. Sometimes they can be pretty tough and keep up with you, and other times they're just, you know, dumber than a bag of bricks. But I'm facing the preppy kids. They're not exactly the most athletic. You know, they don't even have, you know, proper shorts or anything like that for this. They're just doing it in their school uniform, stuff like that. But I guess I shouldn't be talking. I'm doing the same thing. But we all know Jimmy is a different beast compared to everybody. I mean, he's taken out, you know, entire groups of people at this point. I hope these arrows are reliable, because I think I mentioned in the last chapter, I cannot actually see really anything on my mini-map, so kind of going based off of just, you know, instinct here. So hopefully I don't mess up. But a lot of these missions you'll see are kind of just introduction missions to side activities in the game. So we did the boxing challenge. Boxing is a side activity. You can do it to earn money and you know, stuff like that. Now this is the racing, which there's a whole bunch of racing in this game, bike races, and then eventually we'll be able to do, I think we can actually do it now, we can already do the go-kart racing.
Good job! Sweet win! Come by and see me anytime. I'll have your trophy.
But yeah, I think the early missions in this game just do a really good job of just showing off everything you can do in this game. But now it's time to collect our trophy, and as you can see, we're not going to get it smoothly.
C785, then dismantle it and recouple with a 767 in titanium. Very expensive, but it will make your machine fly. That's what the pros do.
Really? I was gonna get the 976 because I thought it would make me look important amongst my peer group.
A 976? What are you, a girl?
Oh, here's the kid who won the race.
Hey.
You came for your trophy, huh?
Yep.
Here she is. Beautiful. Molded plastic, covered in aluminum wrap, with your name misspelled on it.
Excellent.
Great.
Look at this. A bunch of guys whose career aspirations are to work in store.
Oh boy, I never noticed a cigarette on the side
I love it
of
when people know their
Ricky's
place in
ear.
life.
Well, your place in life is in my toilet, you trust fund turd.
Do you even have flushing
It's on
toilets
the other
in
side
your
though, you
trailer?
can't see it.
I couldn't imagine it.
You guys are a bunch of scumbags, aren't you?
These guys aren't too bad at shit talking, I'm not gonna lie.
Trophy. Here, let me see. Come on.
That's why I like Chad. He's an asshole, but I think he's the most entertaining when he talks crap. But as you can see, now we're gonna actually have the help of Ricky,
Those losers?
the greaser. So it'd be cool if this mission, you know, beating up the greaser, beating up the preppies, you know, you get a little bit of respect from the greasers, especially since Ricky helps you. But unfortunately, you're gonna find out, especially in the latter half of the game, the respect system really doesn't mean anything. It's always just gonna be, you know, whoever you're feuding with, it'll go periodically steadily down until you get to 0, and then that's when you're gonna do the final mission for that chapter. Then it's gonna go up to 100%, and it just shifts back and forth so many times. It's kind of a useless system. Let's get that guy out of the way. I think you can throw him into the water, but you know, there's no point. Let's just get our trophy. End this quickly here. Yeah, Tad knew what was up. He wasn't even trying to attack me. He ran, seen who it was, and ran away. But speaking of Tad, now we're gonna do his secondary mission.
I'm sorry.
Looks like the owner of Yum Yum Market's found himself in some trouble here.
Hey kid, help me out, please.
Easy, Russell. Calm down, calm down.
Sit.
Good boy.
Thank you. Jeez, that dumb kid's really strong.
Hey, be good.
No,
He's what a
not you,
jerk.
Einstein, not you. So, how did everything work out with those eggs?
Not like I was hoping. Never trust a rich kid.
Too bad.
I think Russell's a
too bad.
little
Was it that
misunderstood.
jerk, Tad? You know, his parents are at a party at my boss's house right now. If you wanted a revenge thing, now would be a good time.
I guess I'll need some more eggs then.
Ah, yes, you got it.
Thanks. Come on, Russell. We've got a house call to make.
But this is cool because Russell's the kind of character where they actually show you interacting with him. He's actually Jimmy's legitimate, cool buddy, and you can find out that a lot of the other clique leaders are, you know, their actual respect for Jimmy is very, it's fake. I can't really think of the proper term. Yeah, there's Tad right there. You're supposed to be at your house, pal, but it's very fake. But the respect that Russell has for Jimmy is genuine, and they do develop a little bit of a friendship throughout the game. I'm trying to beat him there, but he's keeps somehow getting ahead of me there. I think I can make it. Yeah, I win. But yeah, he's gonna help us out in this mission, and this is just a very fun mission because you're gonna be having to deal with a lot of preps at his house, but that's pretty much for Russell to deal with. I'm gonna try and do it to where like I throw the eggs in at 2 windows pretty much in quick succession. Did I make it? Holy crap, I actually did. But I'm gonna try and do it to where it's in quick succession. Because there's actually a way, I think if you do it fast enough, you can see just 2 Tads closing the window at the same time. Let me see if I can do it. Oh jeez, Russell almost got egged there.
Oh no! Mother's favorite maple.
Come on.
You're not going to get away.
Not fast enough. Maybe it was also my perspective too. I know I've done it before. Let me see, are there 2 windows in the back? Yeah, Russell kicks ass. He's so aggressive in this game on top of being strong. Some of the most fun I had as a kid was just hiring Russell and then heading to the library and having him beat up the nerds. Childish, but it's a blast. Trust me. Just hiring Russell, whether he's out in front of the school or in the parking lot, is just some of the most fun you can have in this game. Alright, I think this is my last chance. Come on. Come on. What?
You're not going to get away here.
Is that? Yeah, he was trying to throw an egg at me. Uh-oh, now we got Biff. Biff is he's no joke. Russell should still be able to beat him, even at half health, but Biff, he don't mess around. He's probably one of my favorite preps too. Alright, I guess I've said that, you know, half the preps are my favorites, but Jesus Christ, I'm actually getting my ass kicked. I gotta get out of here. That was a crazy combo. Jeez, now they're throwing eggs at me. It's raining. But they're gonna rue the day they mess with Hopkins. Now this is gonna be the final side mission before the final mission of this chapter. We're doing it for a teacher, the biology teacher, and I'll explain why.
You, boy, don't just stand there. Come and help.
What do you want, sir? Why did you send for me?
I sent for you? Oh, yes, I did. Look at that plant, boy. Magnificent, isn't it? A crapula maxima fortissima. A rare and precious Venus flytrap. Unfortunately, there is a boy at this school, Darby Harrington, who was given such a plant from his father. His father is not a nice man. Darby is not a nice boy. They keep that plant to belittle my collection. There are two sides to biology, boy. Life and death. Do I make myself clear?
Very clear, sir. You want me to kill Darby Harrington? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Not the boy, the plant, boy. Kill the plant.
Oh, that's my favorite Jimmy line. You know, smart ass line in the whole game. Yeah, the biology teacher, that's the only mission you do for him. But there is something legitimately unsettling about him. There's something off. But now we have to go to our dorm, put on an aqua berry, you know, fast, get a haircut in order to gain access to the Harrington house. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever when you think about it. Like, the preps should all know who each other are, and just because you look nice doesn't mean you're necessarily, you know, rich. I mean, come on, this is a $15 haircut here. $18, I guess. And what, like a $40, $50 shirt?
Number one contender. Looking sharp.
But I don't know, we flirted with Biff at the door, so he let us in. You know, he's got a boy crush on us. So yeah, now everybody, despite the fact that everybody should recognize Jimmy's face, as he's got the most distinct 40-year-old looking mad face of everybody in the whole school, we just have access to it because we're wearing an aquaberry sweater. And we somehow managed to magically use some hair growth tonic to be able to get more than a buzz cut. Jeez, even Tad recognizes us and everything. They don't care. Uh-oh, I think they started to care. Oh boy. I think that guy's got eggs too. The Harrington house is fun to fight in. For some reason, I don't think it's in the PS2 version, but in the Scholarship Edition, you can actually access the Harrington house. I think it's after you beat the game only, but I could be wrong. But for whatever reason, it's pointless because there's just nobody's in there. So, I mean, I think you can go get the poison gun anytime you want, but
All good?
just for whatever reason, it's there, but they didn't have the preppy spawn in it, so it's a pointless interior when it didn't need to be. So, I mean, I was complaining about last episode about a lot of interiors that were hidden, and you know, it's just kind of part of the course for the PS2 Rockstar games. You know, you could go into an area and then, you know, just for a mission, but then they won't let you do it in free roam and stuff like that, and it's lame. You know, it's kind of like bosses and fighting games where they don't let you play as that. But, I mean, even then, I mean, just, you obviously had stuff to put them in there for a mission. Just let the preppies stay and hang out in the Harrington house. It's a lot better of a spot than just, you know, in front of it. And then again, maybe they'd know you'd have Pinky all to yourself, saving her from that incest life, am I right? But, I don't know, who knows? I mean, they're all apparently freaks with the incest, so I mean, she probably, who knows, maybe she has like 2 vaginas or something like that, one instead of a butthole or something like that. Yeah, I even grossed myself out on that one. But yeah, it's up to our boy Jimmy to save all the girls from the school from, you know, the mediocrity of the stereotypical kliqs and whatnot. Like I said, they're all smitten for him, but I think they're all assholes to everybody else, and I think that's kind of how everybody else is in this game. But at least the cool thing about the girls is once you're good with them, they don't ever turn their back on you. Unlike a lot of the dudes in this game. Am I doing this right? There we go. Now with those clowns taken out of the way, now we can just kill this thing in peace. Kind of feel bad. I mean, it's kind of freaky the way it's moving and stuff like that, but it is a living thing. But I guess it's just a plant. We just gotta escape. I think the fun thing about the Harrington house is just all the breakable glass objects you can throw people into, or pick up the plants and throw them. The plants is by far my favorite weapon. Just because, you know, I love throwing it at people. I love, you know, the impact, the sound it makes. It's so awesome. Uh-oh. Tried to jump over him, didn't quite work. Let's poison him instead. Now we have, what? Come on, give me the paddle. Fear the paddle. I think there's another one. Where's Biff? Am I gonna have to deal with Biff? Oh boy, I am. Oh jeez. Maybe I can take him out. Probably better off if I don't though. And it's already nighttime. Oh, actually, I guess I was wrong. So there is one more. I do these missions, like I play the game, then I compile them together, cut out a lot of the loading screens and whatnot, and then I, you know,
Nothing. What about you?
Well,
just commentate over it after the fact. So that's why maybe I'm wrong on a few
I'm looking
things.
for naughty boys. I mean, I'm looking for naughty boys in the wrong parts of town. What I mean, Hopkins, is that I'm glad to report that in that disgusting store, I did not find one naughty boy. Not one.
Well, that's good, sir, because filth like that can really rot a young man's mind.
Exactly. That's why I got this research, to check on the dangers.
It's good to see a teacher so dedicated to his work, sir.
Thank you.
No problem.
But I'll tell you, Hopkins, I'm quite worn out with all this work. I don't suppose you could do me a favor.
What?
Well, how do I put this? I'm in charge of the laundry this week, but I got so carried away with my research that I forgot to collect it all at the same time. It would be embarrassing to ask for it now. Oh, maybe you could help, but you'll have to be discreet.
Discretion is my middle name, sir.
Great! So go and collect all the dirty laundry from the, girls' dorm.
Okay.
And if you get caught, I know nothing about it.
I won't say anything, sir. In fact, I'll make it clear that I never saw you coming out of an adult store clutching illicit magazines.
Good boy! Now hurry up and bring them to me by the school gates, but shh.
Yeah, this is kind of the first indication. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, the stereotypical yelling loud coach kind of character, but this is when you first get the indication of this guy is definitely just more than just a jerk or whatever. He's definitely probably the worst teacher at the school by a wide margin. I didn't realize how well this chapter really kind of portrays, you know, it gives you a little bit about each of the teachers, really. But, yeah, it's a pretty scummy mission, and, you know, people make excuses to Jimmy's, you know, still a kid, he's 15, so you can kind of make the excuse. I would just load it in. But, I don't know. I still think it's Jimmy. I think he clearly knows it's wrong, but he's still doing it. He knows what he's really going in there for. As a kid, I actually, it's terrible how innocent I was. I legit thought that Mr. Burton was being legitimate in all of his claims. I didn't understand the implication of what getting the laundry in the girls' dorm meant, or any of that kind of stuff.
Might find a use for that.
And yeah, I swapped out into the ninja outfit, you know, give this a little more character as well. I thought there was a benefit to wearing the ninja outfit, but I didn't see anything. Maybe it helps me sneak around better, but the thing about this mission is you have to do it late at night so you don't get caught and whatnot. But depending on what time it is, you know, you have to just wait at least probably like a full hour in game clock-wise for this teacher to go downstairs, because if you get caught by her in this mission, you just get sent out of the dorm and you have to pretty much do the whole thing all over again.
No one understands how much work it is.
But yeah, this is not going to be the last we hear about, you know, Mr. Burton, the gym teacher's sexcapades and dirty behavior and stuff like that. And it actually, if you think this is bad, it gets a hell of a lot worse down the line, unfortunately. They remade Bully. I think this is kind of the stuff that they probably... I'm not usually that guy that's like, oh, everything's all woke and terrible and all this stuff, but this is kind of the stuff I definitely think wouldn't really be allowed for like a T for teen game in today's market. Well, the girls don't seem to mind that I'm here. Or maybe I'm... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, maybe my ninja outfit's working better than I thought. But yeah, I legit thought that he just forgot about the laundry and I had to collect it for him and all this and that. I was such a jughead. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Score.
But yeah, I usually, just to further my point that I said earlier on, I'm sure it's pretty obvious anyway, but I usually play through the game, then I get rid of all the loading screens that I possibly can, and then I, you know, just commentate over after the fact. And so, you know, the cat's out of the bag. I know sometimes I act like I'm reacting in live time, but, you know, just breaking the secrets. I don't know how people actually feel about that though, but I figured everybody knew anyway. I think it's a nice detail that some of the girls are in their pajamas and stuff like that and have pajama models. Now this part always gets me because not only can I not see my trouble meter too well, but also the fact of this mission in particular. I wonder why that girl got tackled by the prefect, but this mission in particular, I think it always puts you in the red, but I always forget that. So if you're in the red and you get hit by a prefect, you get grabbed, you're done. Adios. So I had to redo this mission like 4 times for this playthrough. But finally got it. Ninja costume worked like a charm when I put it on. But now we're on the boxing challenge, which is the final one. We don't have to take out everybody, but we gotta take out the best in this mission, as you're about to see.
So how do I do it, Pete?
Do what?
Beat those rich kids into submission.
Well, what have you tried so far?
Random violence, widespread destruction, gratuitous sadism.
No, that's not gonna work. They get all that kind of stuff at home. No, what you gotta do is you gotta beat one of them publicly. You gotta prove to them you're better than their best man. Why don't you box that dumb jerk Biff?
Not bad, Pete. Not bad at all. All right. See you around.
Wait, Jimmy, can I come too? You know what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so poor Petey's feeling left out. That's not going to be the first, well, that was the first, but it's not going to be the last time you see him kind of feeling left out of these missions. But in all fairness, I mean, Pete's not a tough guy. And I guess, yeah, he'd like to watch, you know, us beat everybody up. But, I mean, it's probably for the best when you think about it if he was, you know, out of danger with these dangerous situations, you know. Because while we're fighting, you know, Biff,
You and me,
he could be getting his ass kicked and be a liability.
And then you little trust fund fairies will know what life is all about.
Anytime, Pauper.
Of course. The best man always wins. Me. Come on. Afterwards, you can clean my shoes.
It's pretty generous of them to allow me to change. But yeah, this is the last time we're gonna have to do the boxing mini game. Unfortunately, Biff, he has a lot of health. And I think if you don't beat him within the 3 rounds, just outright beat him, I think you just outright lose. But yeah, this is kind of especially when the mission that usually gets me to where I'm not like a big fan of the boxing anymore, because it's just it gets to be kind of tedious if I'm being honest. This is just probably one of my least favorite part of the games. But it's not as bad as I'm making it out to seem, but for a game that's as great as Bully with all the mini games and stuff that you can do in it, boxing is, you know, like I mentioned before, it's not my bag, you could say. And I did upgrade my moveset a little bit before this mission, between the 2 boxing missions, so that's why I got the 5-hit punch combo now. For whatever reason, you just have to upgrade your moveset with the hobo to like level 2 or whatever, where you get the punch and the trip kick, which is probably my favorite move in the entire game. It's so awesome. The fighting system was supposed to be a lot different in Bully, actually, in which it was just more in-depth and technical, and you know, you would see there were times where you could expend energy to try and punch through other people's punches and get a few last-minute hits in and stuff like that. It's very interesting. I think Swegta was the one who covered it the most, but once again, I think I mentioned it, you know, Swegta, the Nathan NS, Simon Bestia, Deadpool XYZ, those are the top Bully creators that I am aware of, you know, as far as mods, beta content and stuff like that goes. So if you're interested in learning more about the beta of this game and just facts about the characters and everything like that, those are the guys to check out for all that stuff. And they got, you know, hours worth of interesting content to look at this game, which the Bully community is a very dedicated community, and I love it.
That poor kid just beat up Biff. He's our new champion. What? He's the new champion.
Yeah, come on, man. Woo! You disgust me.
It takes more than victory to become a champion. It takes breeding and nepotism and snobbery. You filthy Democrat. Gentlemen, are we going to let some gutter snipe come in and beat up our friend Biff?
No!
Then what are we going to do?
Beat him back to the ghetto!
Yeah, so if you're wondering who the hell Darby Harrington is, and you know, he has nothing to really do with this chapter until we get to this point, but he's kind of mentioned a few times. Obviously, we've seen him in the opening cutscene in the cafeteria. With Pinky, he showed up in the hole, you know, holding her and stuff like that. I think an interesting detail is after, you know, the prep missions with Pinky and, you know, getting her to like you and stuff, a cool detail is you don't see them together anymore. Because, you know, obviously she was pissed off that she was, or he, you know, Darby was 3 minutes late to the date and whatnot. So it's a cool detail that they did there, allowing you to see the progression of the characters. And once again, like I said, hopefully breaking the cycle of incest. Tad, the thing I don't understand about Taz, you said, you know, his dad was a self-made man, all this stuff. So I'm assuming that means he wasn't growing up rich. So what was with all the incest then? You know, why is Tad's family seemingly the one that suffers the most from the effects of incest and stuff like that, if they weren't rich before? I don't really... Maybe I misinterpreted that quote or whatever, but that's just kind of weird to me to think. Like how that guy was just kind of standing there. But, geez, is that a paddle or is that just a wooden... Oh yeah, it's a paddle. I love how he just flipped over like 3 times. I don't even think that should have hit him, but I'm not complaining either. Boy, I'm creaming this guy. Yeah, that's kind of his thing. He'll call in friends every now and then, and he'll give you with like a sucker punch type deal that you just can't block. And I'm probably should have showed it off a minute before. Okay, I guess he's just gonna appear through the door. Are these the same exact guys that I just beat? But yeah, it's you can close the door and that way, you know, he can't call anybody in again. But you know, it's kind of pointless because now it's just one hit and he's dead, so you can't really see the effects of that. I feel like the humiliations on the bosses are never satisfying in this game, and they're the ones who deserve it the most. But that's our whole, that's the end of Chapter 2. Thank you for watching. Tune in next week for Chapter 3, the whole playthrough of that. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching. Thank you for tuning in as well, and above all else, remember to please have a nice day.
Me! Now you girls, learn to play nice, you understand?